Viewers waiting. Go live. Welcome. See if we can. What's going on, cool dude? How's everybody doing? I was having a little trouble uploading a video, so I figured instead I would go live. It's been a while since I've done a live anyway. I feel like I could go for some talking about manifesting. Where are you tuned in from? And thanks for joining. Also, do let me know if you can or cannot hear me. How are you, Joseph? You're growing more handsome by the day. Good evening, no one. Welcome, welcome. You're very welcome for this live. Giselle, hey. I'm excited. It's been a while. It's not going to be insanely long, but South Africa, welcome. I would like to talk a little bit. Audio seems low. Okay. How about now? Is the audio still low? Is the audio better now? You tell me. Hopefully the audio will be better now. 35 viewers. So I want to, it's been interesting. I've been getting some interesting comments on, let's see if I can pull it up. So we've got our Discord community finally loaded up, which is excellent. Well, welcome from London. So I've by the way, I have upped the microphone volume. I didn't even realize I had it turned down. I got an excellent comment from someone today, or yesterday, I suppose now, they manifested their specific person. How many of you watch multiple people? How many of you watch multiple people? I want to talk about this success story, this manifesting a specific person success story. There's not a whole lot of detail, but it is someone who's a consistent viewer here. And they said to me that their specific person is back. They've watched every day for the last 6 months in all of their spare time. I'll quote it. My SP is back. I've watched you every day for the last 6 months in all of my spare time. This person manifested their specific person. Sometimes staying up all night because I couldn't sleep and listening to you was like being with a friend. Taking notes, applying, and remembering, and relearning your teachings as I forget easily. And I can be anxious and overthink all the time. Actually reading the damn Bible and making notes in the book with your translations. Dreaming of saving someone from being crucified, which I now think the old man, as you say, the old me, I think was the old man. Dreaming of writing Bible verses vividly and looking them up. One of them in particular was Matthew 11:15. I needed to hear and actually listen. It's been a wild ride, but damn, I'm so happy to have met you over this platform. You're a legend. I can't thank you enough, Joseph. You've changed my life. I'm so grateful. 6 months. Some people, it takes a couple days. Some, it takes hours. Some, it takes months. Some, it takes years. But manifesting is definite. You imagine what you want. You do the work and watch the results come. This is how it goes. This is how it works. 3D purging. Let's talk about that for a moment. But I would like I would like it if you would give me some context as to what you mean by this. There are a lot of different angles. You've got to realize this is coming from a perspective of business mind. When you get on YouTube, essentially when I first started on YouTube, there were not many manifestation coaches. The ones that there were far out. They were not essentially on the ball. what happens is eventually with saturation is people need to add new content and angles to stand out. Otherwise their viewerships plummet and subscribers plummet. So what happens is they need to create content. They need to create content to get new viewers. So what they do is they start adding these insane things to manifesting to make it seem like they are legitimate. Like the knot method, for example, which is silly. And they'll say anything to get a view. Anything to get a view. But ultimately, the purge, there's a lot of things. Really, the reality in and of itself is being constructed by our subconscious. So whatever's happening is only shifting. Reality is shifting as a result of your subconscious. An extremely critical topic. Sometimes this can appear to be negative things, which people might call a purge, things removing or leaving in your life. One thing that is true is if you change your reality to a new state of consciousness, things in your life that no longer match that state of consciousness must leave. By the way, Youre, welcome. Thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate you. It's been a little bit since I've done a live. I'm really excited to be here. I had some trouble uploading. I had a long day. I'm going to skip ads for some viewers for now. I'd like to keep this rolling. But yeah, so with that said, I was planning on releasing one video, then another video, and then it was all taking too long. So I just did a live, which I'm really grateful to be here with you guys. But anyway, I was reading this success story. There's an individual, she was manifesting 6 months. She manifested her specific person. But what I wanted to point out about what she said, which I thought was amazing, is the fact that she did very similar to what I did, which was take notes. For me, particularly with scripture, given that I come from a studious biblical background, and my interpretations of manifestation come directly from the Bible. And this individual said she took what I wrote as it relates to the Bible, right? And this stuff works every time. You want to master manifesting? Listen to my interpretations of scripture. All that you behold from other practitioners, people who don't even quote the Bible, that's where it comes from. In fact, the word manifesting, for those of you who don't know this, comes from 1 Corinthians chapter 12 in scripture. Now it's used in other places as well in scripture, but the word manifesting, for those of you who do not like the Bible, unfortunately, even the word manifesting comes from the Bible, which I think is funny, that there is such a turn off with regards to shutting down the mind whenever that word Bible is used. But funny enough for myself, I used to believe in the Bible in a way that I think the majority of the world does, but I completely abandoned that approach when I realized that the Bible is talking about manifesting and only manifesting and who we truly are, which is God. That's a different spin upon it. It's not overt, not as clear as day. But when you come to the point where you have exhausted all options and you need something to work, this is what works. I've tested this time and time again. All you have to do is follow specific principles. All you have to do is imagine or conjure up some imaginal scene, whether that's in visuals, whether that's in sound, whether that's in feeling, and embody it internally within the imagination. Match your consciousness with the wish fulfilled, and you will manifest whatever you want. There are no limitations. No limitations. Nothing is impossible. If you can imagine it, it exists. And if it exists, you can draw from it and push it into this world. If you watch my last video, it's almost strikingly exact to the process of that game with the claw, where you're picking something inside the glass in an arcade and you're picking something. That is what's happening when we're imagining. That is what's happening when we're imagining. What is a surefire way to manifest a kiss from my specific person? Kissing, dating, the works, because I'm not ready for marriage. That's not my end scene. So Celine, let me ask you something, and I will, and Calista, yes, this is live. This is live right now. Celine, I want to know what your background is with manifesting. I want to know if you've ever heard of something called imagining the end. And I want to know if you understand why imagining the end is important and why we don't imagine the middle. Because I believe if you knew how powerful manifesting was and what the repercussions are of manifesting intermediary things, then you would not do it. There are what I would consider to be, when you test this, you'll realize. So let's put it this way. I've tested side by side what happens when you imagine things in the middle versus the end. Right? You can imagine in the middle all the live long day if you want, but it's going to butcher your end result. It will prevent you from getting your ultimate ends. I think for those of you, and including myself, when I first got into manifesting, I didn't care. I didn't know. I wasn't aware of the repercussions of imagining the middle. I don't know if many are. Most people believe, just like this reality, if you imagine piecemeal, you will get piecemeal. But the truth is that imaginal scenes do not connect to one another. You cannot imagine A, then B, then C, then D, then E, leading all the way up till Z. That is not how it works. It does not connect to one another. You will manifest a text, they will disappear. You will manifest a kiss, they will disappear. You will manifest an I love you, they will disappear. They do not go in logical order. You must imagine the end if you want the end. In other words, if you imagine the middle, be prepared for treacherous heartache. And also, manipulation of the middle can break manifestations and make you restart. So in other words, if you don't want to get married, period, then don't imagine marriage. But I do believe people underestimate the permanent power of manifestation. And if you knew how powerful it was, you would not just mess around with it, with things that you really care about. If you are wanting instant gratification, do not manifest the middle, right? If you don't care about something, manifest the middle. May I ask a question? If I see signs or synchronicities, does that mean my manifestation is coming or almost here? It can. If you are sick of wondering how, if you're sick of wondering, can you get your manifestation? Let me ask you this. Do you sit there and think to yourself, I want to ask you some rhetorical questions and I'm going to give you an answer. Do you sit there and think, when is this going to come? Have you imagined the end? Do you take time to imagine the end, or do you jump into it without practically outlining it first? When you imagine, what are you experiencing after? There are definite techniques to getting definite results. This is not based upon what we feel works. This is not based upon what we think is good. There are practical, definitive, systematic methods that have been proven and tested time and time again across the board, no matter who you are, no matter what you feel, that can get you your end, but you have to follow them. When it comes to knowing that your manifestation is going to come, what happens is you imagine something that you haven't thought of or imagined before, ever. Then, when something appears in your reality that is similar to what you've imagined, but not it, obviously, otherwise you would already have it, then you can know definitively that the subconscious mind contains the image that you fed it. And if you know definitively that the subconscious mind has fed, or that exists what you have fed it, gosh, that's like a tongue twister. If your subconscious contains what you've imagined, in other words, if you have witnessed a sign similar to what you've imagined, then you know for a fact your subconscious contains what you have imagined. And if your subconscious contains what you have imagined, then it is a done deal. It must come to pass. God's word cannot come back void. Let me find the exact verse. I've been reading a lot more lately, but let's see. So shall my word be that goes forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. It shall accomplish that which I please and shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent. This is referring to your subconscious. This is referring to your imaginal acts. If you get to the point where you've impressed your subconscious mind with the imaginal act, it will manifest. I had a conversation. Let me get it. Song of Solomon. I think it's 4, isn't it? Song of Solomon. I had a client yesterday. She was a visualizer. She was a client of mine, is a client of mine currently. She's been manifesting her specific person. Lately I've had a lot of success with specific people with my clients. One after the other. Boom, specific person. Boom, specific person. Boom, manifesting. Boom, manifesting. Last night I had a client of mine who I've been working with for a few weeks. This was our second session. She has been engaging with inner conversations to change the beliefs. Now, generally, I take a client through one of several paths, depending upon their specific situation, right? Everyone's situation is different. Not one technique is meant for every single situation. Do not be fooled in thinking that is so. Do not affirm for everything. Do not visualize for everything. That is not the key. You have to test and expand your repertoire through experimentation to really get a hold of which works best for what. In other words, though, this woman, I gave a suggestion to imagine some conversations. She was instilling a belief that she was confident. This was the new belief. And there are many reasons why this was a belief she wanted to experience. And she may very well be in this room right now. But interestingly enough, after she had imagined a conversation before bed, a conversation with myself, interestingly enough, she then opened up the YouTube and she played a video of mine, and immediately in subtitles, I placed a title, like an animated title, whilst I was speaking the word, and it said confidence. So she imagined a conversation where she was being complimented on her confidence, and she imagined that at night, over and over, that one night, and then the next day she opened up YouTube, watched my video, and the very first thing she noticed is I said the word confidence, and in big bold letters across the screen said confidence. That is a sign. That is the proof that what she imagined is definitely coming to pass. We know this because she imagined talking to me. We know this because, and this is common, I had another one recently too. She imagined beliefs as well. The same thing, words in bold across the screen. And a lot of times I will change little details so that you can't identify the client themselves, but just for privacy reasons. But this is how you know that a manifestation is going to come 100% of the time. This is tested. This can be proven. Test it yourself. Witness what happens when you choose a specific detail that you don't normally think about and inject it into the imaginal act. When you do that, and when you witness an echo upon the screen of space and you realize, oh my gosh, that weird thing that I put into my scene with my specific person just manifested as a sign on a billboard. You know now. There is no doubt that your manifestation will come. So in other words, to answer the question once and for all, yes, if you see a sign that implies that you've already have what you want in this world, so what you've imagined, it will manifest. It will manifest. Let me see what we got here. Guys, just to let you know, there are over 121 people in this room. It is very difficult to stand out. Generally, what I do, for those of you who desperately need questions answered, donate $1 or something. And when you do that, your message pops up on the screen, and that's how I can witness it before it flies off. Just to let you know. Celine, what I would do if I were you is imagine a conversation with someone or your specific person then where you are referring to your stable, consistent relationship, your long-lasting, secure relationship that you've been in for XYZ amount of time. I would not imagine a kiss unless you were included in that scene equally also imagining a steady, stable relationship. So that would be the suggestion that I would give to you. Because otherwise what will happen is a kiss will manifest, but then generally speaking, that it's done. It's not going to happen again. That's the problem with imagining slight or quick scenes, quick ends. What do we got here? How can I pop this chat out of here? Pop out chat. Boom. All right. Very good. I'm going to minimize. Yeah, I'll keep this like this then. So tell me, everybody, how is your week so far and how was your weekend? You're welcome, Celine. Let's see. How do I manifest writing my book and having it published? So what you would want to do is you would want to, so here's the thing. You want to have a definitive goal. It's oftentimes better to, like, here's the thing with being published. What I would do if I were you is get details, what you want to experience. It's more important to understand the totality and the specifics of what you want to experience. That's critical. What I've been doing lately, I've been doing an amazing process where I combine two very respected psychologists, psychotherapists, routines, and techniques to defining new characteristics and characters, and then enacting within the imagination those characteristics. And in doing so, in a very specific way, breaking down the discrete pieces of that character, all the different aspects of that character, and then imagining each and every one of their memories, one of their characteristics, their emotions, their moods. Eventually, you can step into this character. Now, amazing thing is, right, the moment you name something, this is a fundamental of non-duality. The moment you name something, you force it into time-space. You are separate from it. Now there's not just one, there are two. But what's interesting about that is when it can be helpful is when you define a list of characteristics or memories or experiences that you wish to embody and then name it. This is one of Neville Goddard's secret techniques that many overlook. They do not understand the magnitude. When you name something, you solidify it. And so what you do is you identify the characteristics of the person you want to become and you name it. And then what you do, give it a name. Give it a name. Is its name Joseph? Is its name Joe? Is its name Joey? Is its name Jojo? And what you do is you go into the persona, the characteristic of Joey. And as soon as you do that and you enter into that in your mind, you've already rehearsed, and then you must internally, you do not tell anyone, no one. You tell no one that you're doing this, because what will happen is you will get feedback eventually from people telling you you're acting different. Why are you acting different? And when you do that, you know that you're beginning to manifest the outcome that you're desiring, which is amazing. Hope. 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 I'm going to skip ads for some viewers again. But with the book, what you want to do ultimately is define what you wish to experience. I digressed and then I forgot to revert back because I saw hope. You define what you wish to experience. What do you want? Do you just want to publish a book? Well, you can do that right now on Amazon. I'm sure that's not what you mean. I'm sure you mean get published by a, oh my God, what's it called? An agent or something. So what you would do is you want to know what it's like. You want to research what you're actually looking to do. What do you want? Perhaps you're imagining being a New York Times bestseller, an Amazon bestseller, or something. You imagine that. That's all you imagine. You don't need to imagine writing the book. All of that is implied when you imagine something like becoming a New York Times best-selling author. That means you've already become an author, which means you've written a book, which means it's been published, which means it's been famous also, all of that. So you go only to the end. No, I do not have a book yet. I will, though. Selena, I think still I think we're on different pages here. You're thinking temporary as if you're going to have some few month long fling or a year long fling. That's not what, if you're imagining kissing, nowhere in that scene implies anything lasting longer than an instant kiss. So as a coach, I have coached thousands of people at this point, one-on-one and countless more. Many of those people are just like you, and they said, I just want to kiss, I just want to text, I just want this, I just want that. What you've got to understand what consciousness does. Now, like I said, I might be on a different page, you might already know this, but I want to be crystal clear, and this isn't to rain on your parade, this is to make sure that you don't get robbed of what you're actually trying to do. Which is common. It happened to me many times. That's why I'm saying this only, because I care enough to actually say it. So, whereas someone might not. In fact, I know others wouldn't. Because a lot of this is shared. A lot of people will suggest, just manifest a text, manifest their obsession. Don't do that for many reasons. And again, you might already be aware of this. This is for everyone who's wondering and thinking, should I manifest a text? Should I manifest kissing? Should I manifest them saying I love you? Well, it depends what you want. Would you be okay if they kissed you once and never talked to you again? That's what you've just imagined, a kiss. Until you must combine what you want in totality. Do not ever imagine before what you want. In fact, do not be lackadaisical about what you imagine. Imagining can have dire consequences. It's not a game. When it's a game is when you're manifesting fun things. A free cup of coffee. There's no harm, no foul. This is what happened when I manifested a kiss. This is what happened when I manifested a hug. This is what happened when I manifested an I love you. What happens is your consciousness replicates only the content of the mind. So what that means is it never goes further than what you've imagined. This is the nature of reality. So in other words, if you imagine kissing someone and only kissing someone or making out with someone or even saying I love you, what will happen is at that moment is you plant a seed. Okay, this is a very systematic, broken down, very specific thing that happens behind the scene every time, no exceptions. Use this to your advantage, not to your detriment. Use this to get what you want, not to not get what you want. You imagine something, a seed is planted. The DNA of that seed, just like of a person, is going to manifest into a human adult. That is the end state. Within the seed is the image of a person. And then the likeness, that same sort of essence, when you imagine a kiss, the image of you kissing that individual is encapsulated in a seed, dropped in the ground. What does a seed grow into? It grows into the fulfillment of the thing that exists within it, the DNA thereof. Can an apple grow into an apple and then an orange? Can a human grow into a human and then, I don't know, an android? You might logically think, well, a kiss grows into a relationship, but that is only an assumption of logic that has nothing to do with manifesting. Nothing. The image of the seed itself is so exact and precise. The moment it gets fulfilled, it's done, and it drops off. So in other words, what I have done, what many have done, is they think, okay, well, I just want a kiss. I just want a text. I just want them to say, I love you. What will happen, mark my words. I'm trying to save whoever here is unsure of this yet. A bridge of incidents will unfold. So for instance, if I imagine kissing someone, and I don't even know them, what's going to happen is a bridge is going to unfold. Meaning I'm going to have to be put in a situation. They are going to change. I am going to change in order for me to kiss them. Now, what's interesting about that is if the person is unaware of my existence, a whole lot of things have to happen in order for that to happen, which means if they hate me, they will have to become a person who likes me. And if they become a person who likes me, they're going to become a person who kisses me. Once that kiss happens, the whole thing fades and it goes no further. It literally as if nothing ever happened before. That is what is sickening and disturbing and sad and horrible about imagining the middle. Same thing with an I love you. You will have this huge buildup, but because you never went to the point where you asked for a solidified permanent thing. I'm not saying marriage, but I'm saying even in the scene where you're kissing them, if in that scene you're saying something like, I'm so glad that we are in a stable relationship, that's what you need to do in order to make it persistent. Now, if you do not do that, the odds of it manifesting faster go up. Meaning, if you just imagine a kiss, the odds go up of it happening quicker because less is involved. Remember, manifestations come naturally. The problem with that is nothing exists within the individual that suggests permanency, that suggests consistency, that suggests loyalty, that suggests anything like that because you've never embedded it within the seed. So the solution, if you don't want to, so what ends up happening is the person will then continuously keep imagining a kiss again, a kiss again, a kiss again, a kiss again. They're going to constantly battle reality to get back to the position that they were with this instant gratification when the entire, and it'll be extremely painful. What also happens is they will, so say you do like this person, say you're kissing this person, and then you end up, because of that bridge, you end up falling for that person. Then you start to imagine the end. No, it does not work that way. Seeds never connect. You cannot go from one to the next. What will happen is you get that kiss. And now you're imagining like, oh yes, I want to be married to this person now. Unfortunately, you only imagined that kiss. That's a single seed, a single tree. Just like two humans don't permanently merge into one and connect. Just like trees don't permanently merge into one, their DNA doesn't merge. Seeds and dimensions of reality that you manifest do not merge. So you enter into the mindset of having this kiss that manifests, and now you're trying to imagine being married to them. It will start from square one. They will vanish. You're going to be desperately wondering what went wrong. It's a literal nightmare. So unless you literally do not care, which some people, they literally just want to hook up with people, which there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want, there's nothing wrong with just imagining that. But if you want consistency, stability, loyalty, and you can, most of the time when people manifest the middle, it's for instant gratification. They don't want to wait. They miss their person. They start imagining these things. I've been there. I've done that. Guaranteed, if you're here and you're manifesting a specific person, you have done that as well. So test it if you want to. I mean, my suggestion would be to test this. Put this to the extreme test. Because until you test this, you will always be wondering, should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? Do it and watch what happens. Please do it. You will always be wondering unless you do. If you care about the person you're with so much, don't test it on them. Test it on something else. Watch how seeds are just like seeds in reality, in real life. They will ripen and flower and fade. Alrighty then. Carol, sorry to hear that, dear. You guys have been quite cool. 152 people on here. Anyone? What's a great topic? Can I talk about money? Yes, I can talk about money. How do you want me to talk about money? Let's talk about imaginal acts that manifest money. And here's the thing. Let me ask you a question. Right now, if I asked you, what would you do if you won the lottery? What would you say? So a lot of people have no answer to that question. They say, oh, I'll buy a house. And this, well, it's like, until we know the truth of what we want, we will always be back and forth with our imaginal acts. We'll be back and forth with anything. The key is to select an end. No time is wasted when you use your time to select an end. A definite end causes definite action. Definite action meaning definite imaginal acts. So it depends on what you want. What do you want? There's no limitations. If I want a car, I'm going to go online, I'm going to research that car in every excruciating detail. I'm going to map it out and bring it into my imagination until I've made it muscle memory. Then I'm going to split up another embodiment of holding the keys to that car. Then, and maybe perhaps I'll draw upon experiences in reality. I'll take the fob to my actual car keys and toy around in my hand. Then maybe I'll press the button so that it unlocks. Then maybe I'll go online for my dream car and try to see what it sounds like for that car to be started. What I'm going to do eventually is saturate my mind with an entire new reality consisting of the things that I want. Not some simple lackadaisical approach. This never goes anywhere. We need to go beyond where we are to where we want to go. Past to where we know we need to go. That's how we manifest money. That's how we manifest wealth. That's how we manifest power. That's how we go beyond where we are. Eventually with manifesting, you get to a point. If you follow along, you do the stuff that I suggest, testing it, imagining, you will come to a point where you've manifested all of your basic needs. Your wants will all be taken care of. What you'll be left with is in a position where you're questioning, what do I want now? This is when we have to reach back within the depths of ourself to think back to our true nature when we were a kid, our true inclinations, and then also researching things that we think that we want until we strike upon another vein that inspires us. That research is going to help us. If you were here earlier in this, I talked about how I define characteristics and traits and scenarios. And one after the other, I bring them into my mind's eye until I make that persona a part of myself. I even name it. I'll name the character. It's easier to jump back into that character if that character has a name. Once you name something, you solidify it into reality. So ultimately, it doesn't matter what you want. If you want a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, you want a mansion, you want 3 mansions and 4 different, I don't know, islands, whatever you want. Anything you want, it doesn't matter what you want. You can have whatever you want. Selecting in the imagination, anything that you want, you can have it. The key is just to be decisive and to know how to imagine. If you can imagine, if you watch my videos, you can look at those comments, you watch Everyone has gotten the results. This is past the test of time, right? So many others have come and gone. So many people have changed their teachings. This works. What's interesting that I discovered through a lot of my subscribers is a lot of them don't even go on YouTube anymore. They don't need to. They've taken these teachings, they put them to the test, and I don't want you on my channel anymore after you've learned it. Learn it and just share it with someone else. Master your life. That is the greatest success. That is the greatest success. You witness and you look at the amount of people, and you can look on the YouTube studio, the statistics of the individuals who come and then never come. So they'll be here for a while commenting and stuff. Then you'll start to transition and see that they're really getting it and they're helping other people. And then maybe a year later they've checked in, or 2 years later, and they say their whole life is transformed. Thank you so much. Whatever. That's what you want. You want to have a definitive, no bull approach. You don't want to hope that this is working. You want to prove that this is working, right? It's not good for business to teach people how to do it so that they don't need me anymore, but that's exactly what I'm doing. I have no hidden techniques. There's nothing that I hide from anyone. This stuff works. People get what they want, and then they get off of YouTube. I never had YouTube when I was learning manifesting. There was no YouTube when I was learning manifesting. Mine came straight from the source of the Bible. There was nothing. I didn't even know YouTube contained material like that. Point is you can test this without this. You just need to take the steps that I teach in the channel. What do you want? If you want power, you want to manifest money, you want to manifest a relationship, you want to manifest your dream body, testing is the key. The greatest exercise I've discovered is the list method. I stumbled upon it accidentally when I was writing down lists of criteria of things that I didn't care about necessarily. There was no indication that I was attempting to manifest it, but then things started manifesting. I named it the list method. Now I call it the list method exercise, because many people have kind of bastardized it. Use it and witness how fast you master manifesting. I promise you, if you do the list method for 6 months, say you do that for 6 months, you will have all the evidence you need to master manifesting, to never go on YouTube again. You will get everything that you want. The amazing aspect of the list method itself is the fact that you'll manifest so many things in such a record-breaking amount of time that you will have enough evidence and information and data to answer every question you will ever have about manifesting. That is the key. The only exception to that is some things come not after 6 months. Some things manifest after that time frame, and you just have to wait for that to happen. But within that time frame, it will be clear enough for you to master and get what you want. There's no doubt about it. Carmen, I think I've already answered many of your questions. I've been essentially, has it not been you who I've been talking to and answering the whole time? Oh, I see. I like to have coaching with you because of the guys who's hacking everything that I do. So go to my website, and you can apply for coaching. Tell me your situation. I'll take that into consideration. Apply. I think it's like josephali.com/coaching. I think that's it. And you go there, and there's an application. There is an application. Just like there will be one soon for the higher tier of the Discord community. Soon. Right? We don't want everyone in there. We want people who are serious. It's the same thing with my coaching. Right? I've limited it. I've shrunk it down. I'm phasing it out soon. Likewise with many of my things, right? That's just what I do. I give people an opportunity to do it. I'll soon be cutting down coaching clients to only being able to coach one time until they learn the lesson. So one topic, that's it. Boom, never touch that lesson again, right? Because this stuff works. I think if people understood how accurate my teachings are, they would take them more seriously. There are too many options. What happens when you give someone too many options, they never take one thing seriously. So point being is, this stuff absolutely works. If you want the proof of that, put it to the test. Later this week, I'll be releasing one of my most epic workshops on self-concept and automatic manifesting, meaning you can manifest without imagining, but you can do it in a direct way, in a way that happens automatically while you're sleeping, continuously and forever. That's going to be the workshop that I'm talking about. We do, like I said, have the Discord community up. I'm super excited about that. Athena and I have been, a lot of you in here have come on it. It will soon be, some pieces of the tier will be application only. Some tiers. And so it's a Patreon. And one of the tiers, any of the tiers that you pay for, you get access to the Discord. And then there are different tiers that give you access to different things. But if you want a reasonably priced way to stay with people who care, first of all, people who pay are people who care, right? So it's not flooded with a bunch of trolls, which is what I've heard a lot of other chats are, just flooded with trolls, or people desperate, right? Which is interesting. You would think that if you care so much about something, you wouldn't mind putting in a couple dollars. It's really interesting. I suppose it might just be a lack of faith, but what we're finding is people are really finding their family in this Discord community. I've already received a lot of positive feedback because of it. Athena and I are active in it. We also do live Q&A chats around the time of our videos. So far we do it once a week, and then there's different tiers, and we'll be releasing different content. So if you're interested in a manifesting community of no-nonsense, data-driven, systematic stuff, that's what that's for. I'm not going to talk too much more about that, but I just want to let you know, because I will be, like I said, phasing out some of my stuff, and I just more or less want to spread the community, because that's really what I wish that I had. The community. It keeps you embedded, right? The people who are serious are the ones who will remain in contact, you know? I'm not saying it even has to be my community. It doesn't matter. But point being is, in my community, I control the validity and accuracy of the teaching. So obviously I'm talking about mine. So before I end this, I will see if I can find one more question that I would like to answer personally myself. I'll take a little look. I didn't. Carmen, I just answered you. Apply. If you want coaching, apply on my... Didn't I just say that? Apply on my website. Let's see. Hey, Brandon, I don't know if you're still in this room, but I also did 12-step program, which went through the 4th step, 5th step, 8th step, 9th step, and I did all of that. You don't re-cement negative beliefs. There's no cementing of beliefs. Your subconscious is fluid. It just contains them. And while writing them down and reliving them, you have nothing to fear. They're already within the subconscious mind. In fact, what you want to do is, once you have that list in front of you, you really should watch my video on self-concept, my specific videos. I have workshops on them that teach you how to take an inventory list and convert them and remove them with manifesting. Brandon Thomas, happy Tuesday. So the end is, let's see. All right. In the end, I think what I'm going to say is, I will actually say, let's see this. Let me see something. What have I got? How about I go over a quick verse? Yeah? quick Bible verse. Shit, the ads have come on. I'm gonna do this, right? This Bible verse. It was a little that I passed from them, but I found him whom my soul loveth. I held him and would not let him go until I brought him into my mother's house and into the chamber of her that conceived me. This is talking about, that's in the Song of Solomon 3:4, and it's in reference to imagining whilst falling asleep, visualizing whilst falling asleep. The act of visualizing is way simpler than many believe. I think, too, I've seen so many questions pour in about affirmations. It seems to be that, I believe in my experience, right, I did affirmations for many years as that's what I had assumed was the key because that's what was talked about. But what I realized is kind of like that hammer when everything is a nail, but it really doesn't provide any big solutions. With this is the key. Bringing things into the subconscious mind whilst you sleep is the key. That is what it is. And every verse about imagining talks specifically about that. Enter into the closet, shut the door, pray to your Father in secret. That's talking about going into sleep with your imaginal acts. There's, excellently enough, let's see. True, I have one. I am the true vine. Remember that. I am the true vine. Right? Every branch, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman, which means the trimmer of the vines. Every branch in me that bears not fruit, he takes away. Meaning everything that you leave out of your consciousness gets removed from reality. And every branch that bears fruit, he trims it, purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now, you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself. Meaning it's only through Christ, which is the intercessor, the connection between this world and the spiritual world. That is the vine that brings forth life. The key to this is to know what that vine is. That vine, what it's talking about is your imagination and your consciousness. If you hold what you want, fix it in the imagination through the renewed mind. Meaning, be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's talking about, do not look at the world and say, I am screwed. But instead, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Which renewing means to imagine yourself as the new character. Unless you believe that I am he, you shall die in your sins, is a quote by Jesus Christ, which is referring to your imagination. Unless you imagine that you are the person you want to be, you will die as the person that you were. When you want to become a person that you want to be, you imagine that. You hold that within the mind. You renew your mind. And you watch and witness. The promise is that God's word cannot come back void, which means you must manifest the thing that you've imagined. I'm gonna end it on that, guys. Thank you so much for coming here. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the contributions. Remember, there is a Discord community now. Check out my goodness, what is it? It's like, I'm sorry, patreon.com/manifesting_mastery. patreon.com/manifesting_mastery. Let's take a look if I can edit this right hither. Yep. There we go. Manifesting Patreon, manifesting Discord. So if you're one of those who want the manifesting family, this is for you. Sincerely, check it out if you're interested. It really has been changing lives. Also, remember to water the vine, right? Imagine you are the person you want to be. That's the key. That's the key. And one last thing, and just remember, your limitations that you believe you have are only mental. And what I mean by that is, consider the person who first ran the 4-minute mile, and no one had ever done it in history, but the moment he did, it was something like 30 other people within that year also broke that record. It was the thinking that it was possible is what caused the people to be able to complete the possible. Think of that with all of manifesting. You are God, the child of the infinite God. So remember that. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.